Back with another video on the RC all-wheel drive upgrades. Now, if you didn't see in the last video, they sent me a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna put on this LaTrax Prerunner. Pretty much everything is universal between the Prerunner, the Teton, and the Rally. So you can use these for anything, but this video is gonna be the aluminum gear housing. We're gonna replace this plastic gear housing. So what we have to do is we have to strip this down to the bare chassis so that way we can get everything out of there. So it's gonna take a little bit, so let's get started. Almost done. Now we have to do the same to the back. We have to take this upper mount off, the shock mount, this upper brace here, and then we can take the gearbox out. Okay, we're down to the bare chassis now. Now to get this lower piece out, you actually have to, well, you have to take this off, and then you have to, with the differential case being loose like that, you can pull the drive shaft out. Same with up in the front. So the drive shaft's out. So with all the screws out now, this just comes right out. So let's check out what we get here. We have the hardware we need. We got some RC all-wheel drive stickers, and then here's the aluminum pieces. So let's check those out. So it goes something a little bit like that. That's cool. I like the way it looks. Everything looks machined pretty good. For the motor mount, we can actually take this off because we don't need this metal, because right there's the motor mount, and it'll go right like that. So let's take these off. So there's our holes, lines up. Now this will work with stock. I have a 2435 brushless motor on here. Right there you can see the holes line up. So we're gonna mount this right away. That'll be the first thing we do. We'll leave that loose, then we can adjust our mesh when we put it back in next to the spur gear. So it took quite a bit to get to this point, but let's put it back together. We'll start with this one. This is the bottom piece of the housing. Goes in right like that. The set only comes with one of these button head screws. I'll show you where it goes. Now we can adjust our mesh. Slide that over like that. It's pretty much all the way over. If you're using the stock pinion. Now that we have the mesh set, we can loosen this screw up. Let's put this cover on first and then mount it. All right, there we go. We have the gear housing mounted to the chassis. All these other openings here, we'll use these longer screws when you put the chassis brace on. I love the way this looks. It fits together really nice. All the pieces fit together perfectly. And now with this aluminum housing in, it does make the chassis just a little bit more rigid. So all that's left for me to do is put the shock towers back on, front and rear. So I'm not gonna bore you with any of that because you saw how to take them off. It's the same way to put them back on. So let's just cut right to taking this out on the track.